Welcome back to the Snort Barron Widget Railroad. This is now April of '07, and many things have happened. We did a total redo. We tore up everything in August of '06 and are currently on schedule to be ready for the convention here in Phoenix in May of '08. We're running trains. We're getting ready for Dan Hogue's Make-A-Wish, but we're in transition, and it's a work in progress. And that's, I guess, what happens with model railroading. You're never done. You're always working on something. Sometimes it's a big project, like redoing your whole railroad, and sometimes it's a little project, like playing around with some whimsical rolling stock. But we are in the former, working to reinvent the Snort Barron Widget. We started building the Snort Barron Widget in 2002. It was free floating on a gravel base, and I spent 80% of my time doing maintenance and 20% running trains. So one of the things that we did with the new construction was put it on an all granite base and level out the track, decrease the grade from upward to 7 to 8% to 2 to 3%, went from 4-foot radius to 8-foot radius, and put the whole thing on a foundation of concrete with ballast that's glued in place. The railroad runs much smoother. The other thing we did was add a lot more natural rock with rock facings, combined with regular rock and painted with the brush of an artist. The superintendent, my wife, who sets limits of what and how far and where and when the railroad will go, had one request, and that was that the rock look natural and it looked like the surrounding desert, and I think we've accomplished that. We have tunnels that we have to figure out how to cap temporarily. We cap them permanently. It can't clean the track. We go to battery. That may be in the future. So there are tunnels that are right now canyons, and but that's part of the Snort Barron Widget, and we'll continue working, continue to work and have this thing ready for view on the in May of 2008 when the model railroad world, at least G-Gauge, comes here to Phoenix for the convention.
Welcome to Grandpa Choo Choo's Railroad. This railroad was designed about 4 to 5 years ago, but the real intention of the railroad actually goes back about 15 years ago when I started collecting trains and cars to build the railroad. The whole idea of the railroad was to have something to do when I retire, which has been a little bit more sometimes than what I anticipated, but that's the way any big project goes. The train is all track powered. It's all run with LGVs, multi-train system. It has 992 feet of track. It has over 8 or 9 bridges. There's a lot of steel work in this, as you can see by looking at the layout. That was done by Dan. And the train itself, it consists of all sound in all trains but 2. The streetcar, which you've seen, is a brand new addition which was added in the last 6 months. The wiring in the board took well over a year and a half to do. There's well over 1.5 miles of wiring in the board itself, underneath, above, and around the rooms. It occupies a total space in the house of 1,260 square feet. It's in actually 3 rooms plus an entryway or a hallway to the rooms. Most of the work on the train I have done myself over the years. A lot of it's been done extensively in the last 2 to 3 years. 1, getting ready for the National Convention, and 2, getting just generally ready to have it open for people to see. I think the first thing you have to do is, 1, decide, like I did, whether you want to do it indoors or outdoors. And since I had an indoor train when I was a kid, and I had seen all the fun that everybody has kneeling down when they get old and retired, I decided that maybe I would build one indoors and put it up on a platform. As you will see in some of the layouts, other people have taken this idea and taken it outdoors by raising it off the ground. It makes it a lot easier to work on, and the whole thing is to come up with an idea, a simple idea that you can expand on. This train system itself, the layout, is in 4 parts. The basic part of the layout was the board that you see in the main room. The second part of the layout was actually the putting in of the overhead. The third part of the layout was putting in the reversing loops. There's 1 at each end, one of them which you have seen. And the 4th part was adding the streetcar. I'm sure we'll think of something to do to make it a 5th and a 6th part, because it just seems to keep growing.